You think they gonna make him elevate as well, like they've done some of our other artists with big voices
They, I don't know.
in the
I don't
finale?
know. But you know what? I'll tell you what I want.
What you want?
I'll
Tell
tell
me
you
what
what.
you want. What you really, really want.
Hello, welcome to the Pitchy Podcast. We are your hosts, James.
And Stephanie.
Here on the Pitchy Podcast, we are passionate about good music and a great vocal. We'll use the vehicle of NBC's The Voice to give you our take and feedback on each contestant and each overall performance. On the Pitchy Podcast, we will always do our best to speak our truths with love, kindness, and respect, but what we're never here to do is comfort anyone personally or any contestant's character, although we may come off a little pitchy at times. Oh, that was real pitchy.
That
if you know what I mean.
It was.
It's nothing but love, and we'll always do our best to come from nothing but love, or come from nothing but love. So with that, let's go ahead and get down to business with the results show from this night of our lives, our first night of lives, or semifinal night. Well, no, not semifinal. Yeah, semifinal.
Yes.
Semifinal night, first night of lives.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so talk to us, Stephanie.
So
Reba jumped off the show.
Reba jumped off the show with a performance of one of her hits, "Consider Me Gone." Excellent job by Miss Reba.
Well, she was in her 70s, y'all.
That's about as real as them teenagers we got on this show, Shy and Sydney. I believe they're teenagers just as much as I believe that Miss Reba is in her 70s. Neither can be true. She look good.
She really does.
She look real good.
And there's just so much life, right?
Yes.
There's so much a zest for life.
Yes.
And we've talked to a lot of people that have worked with Reba on this show, and they said, you know what, Reba really is the real deal.
Yes, she is.
Really, really. Well, I'm sorry, she's not 70 yet. Sorry, Miss Reba.
Oh,
sorry, Mama Reba. Reba is 69. She'll be 70 in March.
Okay, close, knocking.
But
still don't believe that.
Sorry, Mama.
Still don't believe that.
But yeah, everyone that we know that has worked with her said that she'll call after the show.
Yeah.
Well, let's get together. Let's do lunch. That's just what Reba is. So yeah, love her. All right. So we immediately got down to business. Who was our first?
No. If we're going to talk about performances, we got to talk about them all. There were a couple more. Gwen Stefani performed her song "Somebody Else's."
Stop everything in reverse, Miss Stefani. I remember 30 years ago.
How's she still looking like that?
Ribbon off my eye. Like you still have the same voice of my youth, Gwen.
It is, and she sounded strong tonight. She sounded strong. She sounded strong.
I remember first time I ever heard Gwen sing, it was "I'm Just a Girl," and I think it was from that movie. That song was on the Coolest soundtrack.
Yes.
And that was 95, I think, even though they had been out for a little bit.
Yeah.
But when I first heard her vibrato, I was like, "Who is that?
Who that is?
Who
that is?"
This manipulation with her voice, and I was like, "Oh, this girl can sing."
Yes.
And then "Don't Speak" came out, and then the rest was history. But yeah, so yeah, Gwen's gonna look the same forever.
Yep.
And sing the same forever.
Yep. And then our last performance was October London. He is on Death Row Records, which is Snoop's record company. He owns it now.
R&B's not dead.
No, it's not. He did his song Third Shift, and I was like, oh, he's giving me Marvin vibes. His voice, his look, the whole setting, all of it. I was into that one. It was nice. It was real nice.
Yeah.
And dispersed in between that were some of our results, but we will go ahead and share those results.
So first save of the night was Team Blue Blade. And that was our Filipino connection.
Yes.
Mr. Safronio.
Yes.
I mean, come on. It's Safronio. Of course
come
he's
on.
going to the finale.
Come on.
He did the assignment, as we say, the vernacular. And he deserves to be in the finale.
You think you think they're gonna make him elevate as well, like they've done some of our other artists with big voices
I don't know.
in the
I don't
finale?
know. But you know what? I'll tell you what I want.
What you want?
I'll
Tell
tell
me
you
what you want. What you really, really want.
I want some MJ. I want to hear some MJ from Sophronio.
Do you want to hear some reaching out?
Oh yeah, I want to hear.
You want to hear some human nature?
I want to go back further. I want to hear some off the wall.
Oh,
I
okay.
want to hear "Where Did You Come From, Baby."
You want you want some up
Yeah,
tempo.
I want
You
some
want some PYT?
yeah, I want
Eh.
PYT. I want some, I want some off the wall, which low key was probably Michael's most genius album. But
Oh,
we can
wow.
argue that forever. But yeah, I want just yeah, I want a Michael, I want an MJ from him because I think he can do it. Just like
Now, low
when
key.
who was it Austin's who did the Prince?
Yes,
Oh,
that
I'm
was
sorry, I
crazy.
didn't get a chance to talk about that, but
No.
that jeez. Okay, anyway, but
But
yes,
I will say if Saffron
I don't want to digress, but yeah.
listen, but listen, I will say if Safronio, I think he do got some moves because like I told you last night when he was doing that duet and he had that jacket and he went, I said, oh, I see you, brother. I see you. So he might have some up tempo moves to do some PYT.
What do
But
you
we
want to
can
hear
move
from
on.
him? I'm throwing a loop
Oh
in our
God.
show tonight. What do you want to hear from Sophronio tomorrow
I just want to hear
or
something
next
big.
week? Excuse me.
I want to hear something big. I want to hear. I
Oh,
want to hear. They're probably going to do 2 songs.
you want to hear some more
One's
Journey?
probably going to be a up tempo. One's going to be a power ballad. I just want to hear like an epic power ballad.
So you want to hear some more Journey? You want to hear some?
Yeah, I want to hear some Bryan Adams. I want to hear like a power ballad.
I want to hear some Steven Tyler.
I want to hear some Don't Want to Miss a Thing.
I want to hear that.
Yes. All right, moving on. Our second artist through was Miss Sydney Sterlis.
Sydney did that thing.
She did.
Really did. She really did. I stand corrected, Miss Sydney. You did the doggone thing. You really did. You really, really, really did. Because to me, I feel like that's an impossible song to duplicate. And I just got to remember, you just turned 16. And the lows you gave us, the highs you gave us, the emotion, you gave us more than we could ever imagine on that song. And at holding the reins of an impossible task in singing one of Billie Eilish's biggest and most known songs next to probably the Barbie song, it was crazy, or the Bond song, or I can just keep naming Billie Eilish songs.
You could. You really
All
could.
of her songs are insane.
You really could.
But yes, you deserve to be in the finale. I stand corrected, young lady. That was incredible.
Number 3, Jeremy. We knew.
Broadway producers are fools. Fools. Because you could have had a monster hit, and you still can.
Yes, you can.
But see, now you're gonna have to approach Jeremy, and guess what? Broadway, the fee just went up.
It went up. Y'all better come correct with your coins.
The fee just went up because he's correct. Got Jeremy from NBC's The Voice behind his name, and that is already going to garner him headliner, and it's already going to garner him a bigger paycheck.
And so, don't let the asterisk next to it be winner. Don't let it be season 26 winner. You better come with your best coin offer. Yes.
You know what? They had to put Jeremy through because
they had to.
They didn't want Jeremy to sing in Sudden Death.
They
think about it. They didn't want him to sing in Sudden Death. Nope. They didn't want that. They didn't want that smoke. They really didn't.
That is so true. I'm so sorry.
Left on the stage. You want that smoke.
So true. That's so true. All right, so our last person to be voted through by America was Shy.
You better.
You better. But James, I don't be trusting America. So sometimes they be doing the wrong thing. And I was really nervous. I was getting
Yeah, I
nervous,
would
but I
say the
was so
four.
happy that she made it through and did not have to sing for her life.
Yeah, four strongest of the night before.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
eh,
Yeah. That's not
never
true.
mind.
What?
No, last night was real special, so never mind.
Yeah.
Let me take that back.
Yeah.
So, Stephanie, how do you
hmm
feel about your bottom half?
I mean, I was satisfied with all four that went through. There are people that had to sing for their life that I would have been satisfied had they moved forward without having to sing for their lives. But there's nobody in the top four that I'm like, nope, you didn't. I don't feel like you did enough to deserve it. I think all four of them did, and there were more that did too. But I think that these four did.
They did deserve it.
I was
They
satisfied.
did. They did. Okay, so let's go to our performances, our sudden death performances.
Okay, so first up we had Christina Eagle. She sang "Hard Like a Truck" by Lainey Wilson.
I
What you
mean,
think?
Christina, to me, it was probably one of her more subdued performances. But that's relative, right? Because
Right,
Christina's always going to light up the stage.
right,
I don't think there was a better performer this season.
right.
Somewhat a better crowd mover
Mm-hmm.
than her. Like when Christina's gonna have a big career because you can't take your eyes off of her.
Right,
And guess what? She can really sing too.
right, right.
So you got somebody who you can't take your eyes off of and who's got a killer voice. That's a recipe for huge success.
Yeah.
Huge success. And she's just a sweetheart of a person.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that really stood out to me tonight, not so much her performance, what she said to Snoop,
Come on. I was.
you know?
Yes.
You
Beautiful.
know?
Beautiful.
Because
Yeah.
you know what? Um, I gotta applaud. I don't know who decided, we can talk about the whole Snoop Martha Stewart thing, but like I applaud whoever like saw that Snoop was multidimensional. I'm so glad this man is getting his flowers in
Yeah.
his mid-50s, and they just don't look at him as 1, 2, 3 into the 4, you know. I mean, was that was, that was music about a youth, but like this, that skinny kid from Long Beach, right?
Yes. Yes.
Like who looked like a Doberman pincer,
Yes.
and that's how he got his name.
Yes.
Believe it or not, went to school with Cameron Diaz. Y'all didn't know that.
No, didn't.
But
Absolutely
but
didn't.
Snoop
Wow.
Snoop is everywhere and he's everything, and you can tell that, yeah, hey, what's Snoop smoking today? No. It's not even about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the inspiration that he has given his team. His
Mm-hmm.
team, if you all notice, everyone on his team has adored this man.
Yeah. His team love
Adored
him.
him. And I love that Snoop is now. I love that rappers, especially
Yeah.
Snoop was, I mean, let's just keep it real. Snoop started out as a gangster, I use that in air quotes, rapper, because that's what they used to call them back
Yeah.
in the day.
Yeah.
And just to see the evolution of, how when we do grow up, all of
Mm-hmm.
us do eventually have to grow up,
Yep.
So I just love, that was my favorite part of Christina, what she said to Snoop. I
Yeah.
thought it was endearing, and I thought it was just the essence of who she is.
Right, right,
You know?
right. Yeah, I like this song for one reason, and I didn't like this song for one reason. I love this song for her because it's a very singable song. Like everybody know this song. I know this song. If you don't know this song from nothing else, you know it from like the truck commercial. You know this
Right,
song.
of course.
So it's very singable. I didn't love it just because it kept her in her lower register for a while, and I think that she sounds great in her lows, but I think that she really shines when she gets into her upper range, which she did at moments in the song, and a decent portion, but I think I would have liked to have heard something in a higher timbre longer. But she sold it. Christina lights up the stage just like you said. Like, and let's be clear again, I'm stating the obvious, but I need to state it. These folks don't know if they performing that night. They finding out just like the rest of us at around 9:30. So and she
6:30, 6:30.
6:30, you're right. Yeah, Pacific time, you're right. But she says that she struggles with anxiety, and what more of an anxiety provoking situation to be put in than to sing for your life on the show. So for that, I thought that she did an incredible job. She was wonderful.
Yeah,
Yep.
great job. Okay, so our next performance for the night was Adam. Shocked. Okay, shocked. You ever notice? I'm going to digress for a second. I'm going to jump to the song and then we'll talk about the performance. You
Okay.
ever notice how the beginning of Pretty Wings sounds like a Christmas song?
It's the chimes. It's them daggone chimes. Ding, 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 ding. It's
Like sleigh bells?
sleigh bells.
R&B sleigh bells. Neo soul sleigh bells. I was like, my mouth dropped to the ground when I heard what he was singing.
Yes. Yes. Truly.
It sounded a little ill-prepared for me. We know Adam's talent. It's undeniable. And it's not that Adam can't sing R&B because he sings it well. It's not that Adam can't run because he runs well. It's not that Adam doesn't have the soul or the growl or the chutzpah for it. I just don't personally feel like that this song showcased him in the best light. Yeah. It's I think Maxwell needs a certain swag and Adam is a totally different vibe. Like we talked a lot about his vibe last night,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And Pretty Wings is not Adam's vibe.
Yeah.
So I hope this was not a case where they were like, well, you got to sing this song because we pay the rights for the royalties for Pretty Wings. Because we do know that, like Stephanie and I always say, they always don't get to choose a song that they have to sing on the show.
Yeah.
Because it's not that it didn't sound good. It just didn't sound like Adam.
Yeah. No, I agree. And number one, I was planning on watching this episode with no good ears because I was like, it's the instant saves. We're not giving as much feedback on performances, that kind of thing. I had to put my earbuds in because listening to just the regular feed, the chimes were so loud.
Yeah, they were loud
throughout the entire song that it felt like that's all there was. The rest of the instrumentation along with the chimes was lost. So the instrumentation of it sounded really empty. I wonder if that's how things sounded in his ears as well. Now, when I did put my earbuds in, it did sound better mixed. Like the music, I could hear bass, I could hear the percussion a little bit more, like I could hear more instruments. But when I was just listening with my regular ears, it was very musically off balanced. Yeah. He gave us holleration because there is holleration at the end of this song. He gave us runs. All of what you said, James, is very true. He tried to give us all of what his voice does in this performance. However, there was a sense of, what am I going to do next? Like I could feel that. Like it did not feel like a secure performance. It felt like let me try this thing. Let me try this run.
Let me get this in.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, it was not sang badly. It just did not feel comfortable.
It wasn't Adam. Adam is one of the strongest singers of
Right.
this season.
Right.
And he's got that, and again, self-proclaimed. I'm not labeling him.
Right.
Like, just this quirky, cool
Yes.
vibe.
Yeah.
I just feel like didn't come through with the interpretation of this song.
It didn't. It didn't.
Oh.
No, I mean, listen,
There's
we
so much.
we got to be fair. Like,
We do.
we got to be fair. We say we tell the truth, right? The truth isn't always the truth isn't always, not that it's not nice, because I think we're being nice about it, but the truth isn't always like we loved it. Like yeah.
Always
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
But
All right.
dude, incredible run. You've been my fan favorite of ours. You really have.
You're a dark horse.
Since the beginning, like,
yeah.
I was like, who is this dude?
Yeah.
I love him. Like,
he was calling him a dark horse for a minute.
Yeah, I want to be his best friend.
Yeah.
Like, because I just feel like I would just sit in the room and just laugh and just have a really good time.
Absolutely.
And make incredible music with you.
Right.
So
right.
Please know that. Like, because up until now, you've been slaying it. Like, killing week out. Like, and this dude, I love this dude. I really do. Good
absolutely. Guy. Absolutely. All right. Next up, we had Jan Dan. Jan Dan sang Gravity by John Mayer. When they said that, I was like, oh. But what's funny, James, before I let you go, because of what we've heard from Jan Dan in last night and in previous rounds, I was expecting a certain vibe. I was expecting a certain tonation. I was expecting a mood, a feel, if you will. I didn't.
You know what Jan Dan did?
What
he said, "Hold my '80s rocker. Hold it.
Hold it.
Hold it there for a minute.
Yep.
I gotta take care of business.
Let me get my R&B gospel soul.
Let me win this round real quick, and then we can come back in the finale. I'll give you '80s rock. Okay, just hold it. Let me take care of business." And did Jan Dan take care of business, Stephanie?
He took care of business.
All the business.
All the business.
Stephanie and I were using inappropriate words we shouldn't have been using.
Especially for what he did with this song. They were very inappropriate words.
But sometimes when you don't have the words, inappropriateness is appropriate.
Right. It does.
Because
to me.
Boy was singing his face off. He really, really was. And not only singing his face off, like, he just, I always say this, Stephanie and I aren't here to say and ask you to believe in who you want to believe in. Stephanie and I are Jesus followers.
Yes, we are.
Unapologetically.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean what some of you all think it might mean.
Right.
Because Stephanie and
Let's be clear.
We come with love first.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Point blank, period.
Yup.
We are Jesus followers. And the way we were moved spiritually in that way was a sight to behold and to witness. I was texting Stephanie. I was like, what's really happening here?
What's really going on?
And Stephanie's like, right? I was like, what's really going on? I was like, and from the first word, you knew he meant business. From the first lyric, from the first,
right.
It's like he didn't even. And this has happened a few other. I've said this with a few other. I think I said it with Mac when he did the Lost Without You, I think.
Yeah.
And then he came with the D'Angelo. It's it was like a half of, not even the whole word got out. And you knew it was going to be something truly, truly amazing.
Yes. Yeah.
He said, grab. I said, it's over. Because he done hung up his rocker.
Yes.
He done hung up his Bryan Adams. He put that on the shelf for just a moment.
Just a moment.
To say, guess what? I ain't no one-trick pony. I'm a one-trick pony. I can not only sing in a completely different genre than I've been singing, but I can be the best at it. You know what? So there, mic drop. True mic drop moment. That mic was dropped, and it's still not been picked up.
Mm-mm.
It's still not been picked up.
Mm-mm.
Y'all,
Mm-mm.
Stephanie's trying to go back in the middle of the show. She never does that, y'all.
No, I don't.
She never does that. Maybe she's done that once or twice before.
It's not a regular occurrence.
No.
Not
So she's
during the
trying to go
show.
back and say, what did that ninja
Where?
say?
What did he just say?
Ninja say. Or just do. And, and because it was nuts, Stephanie.
Listen. So when, like you said, when he just first began, and he said that gravity, I was like, wait,
He said, who that?
wait,
Who
that's not how I was expecting that to sound.
that?
And then the more he started singing, I was like, oh, wait a second. We're getting churched gravity, because it was all R&B, soul, gospel. It was all, that's what it was. And it's so interesting because, like I was saying before, like we've heard Jandan do different tonations and inflections within one song. And it was so interesting that for this song, he was like, no, I'm doing soul, R&B, gospel. I'm going to preach this thing. So like the whole time and when I hear the song, I always go to a spiritual place with the song, especially when you get to the part where it's like, keep me where the light is. That is just like stomp clap. That is stomp clap.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, he is preaching this thing. Like I'm literally like going like this during the performance. Like, ooh, shackles are being broken. Like people are being delivered. People are being healed. Like sing this thing. And then he said, if you felt held down by the world, try Jesus. And I said, and that's when I had to rewind it. Because I was like, did he just say that? Did he really just say that? Jandan literally did what I have wanted somebody to do to this song for as long as I've heard it. And he actually said the name of Jesus. And I just was looking at Instagram, and he just posted something. I didn't get to see what he did, but the comment under what he was saying, he was basically saying after the show that he was all right. But the comment that he put underneath was Jesus. So I can't wait to go back to see, because I feel like this was very, 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 very intentional on his part. Like, if I have to sing this instant save song, this is the message that I'm leaving America with. And they can do with it what they want, but this is how I'm going to leave the show. And I was just try him, y'all. Listen, try him.
Honestly, if I was in the part of the sudden death crew, whether I had gone there or not, I'd have been like, oh, no, can't top that.
Listen, and there have been so many people, I'll say this very quickly. There have been so many people on Gwen's team, particularly, who have been Jesus followers. Mm-hmm. At the end of this particular performance, she was like, yes, Jesus. I was like, but do you know him? Do you know him? Because every time you come to the show, somebody is speaking the name of Jesus over your life. I want you to know him, Gwen. I want you to. Okay.
Okay. All right. So our final performance of the night was Danny. What's the name of that song? I didn't know that song.
This song is called House of the Rising Sun, and it's by The Animals. I had to look it up.
Danny's Danny, y'all. He's powerhouse. He's gonna give you 110% every performance.
Right.
Whether it's with that guitar or not.
Yeah.
Danny's good enough where he could stand up there honestly and do a sudden death where he wouldn't have to sing a note and just play.
Right.
And he'd have fight chance of getting
Right.
through.
Right.
He's that insanely talented.
Right.
I thought this was a little one-dimensional. Not one. I'm sorry, that's the wrong phrase. I thought this was a little same level.
Okay.
Like I didn't feel like I wanted, I like my arcs, right? My arcs in the story,
Right.
storytelling, because that's what singing is. Singing a song is it's telling a story.
Right.
That's paying homage to one of my mentors. So it's I didn't feel I just felt like it was one level, and it was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
It was sensational, and Danny, like Reba said, you never have to worry because he's a pro.
Right.
Like I said last night, he's just passing through.
Right.
But I felt like I wanted more. Where I feel like Danny is the most effective is when he pulls it back and then bites your head off, and then pulls it back and then sings you down. Like that's what I want. But I felt like it was just all like singing you down the entire.
So did you like last night's performance better?
Yes,
because I feel like that's the kind of song that you're talking about. Something that's a little like you get the holleration, but you always also get like a more
right. Especially what he did with Christina too, and
and
I felt like Danny was like potted down.
As
far as but that's I love Danny on that because Danny's that good.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't need to be a one level singer,
right?
Even though that one level is ridiculously sensational.
Yeah,
I want more from him.
Yeah.
As far as and I'm nitpicking here because I Stephanie will tell you I will nitpick with the best.
Yes,
like
he does.
When I realize greatness, I will nitpick, be like, all right, but you're already ridiculous,
right? Yeah. For this performance, Danny was like, "I'm all the way up. Like I'm just pick a song where I am here. I'm at this level the whole time," and that's what he did. I actually thought vocally, even though it was kind of one level all the way up, there was a lot of singing about the song. It wasn't just holler, 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 holler. There was a lot of like actual singing, and I thought that his singing tonight was actually really, really good.
It was good.
So I thought that for that, it was a great song choice because it gave you the best part. Where the song was set is where we want to hear Danny's voice the most. So for that, I think that it was a really smart song choice and a really great execution.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So, who was our instant save?
It was Danny.
Great job.
Yep.
Awesome
it was
job.
Danny. It was Danny.
It was sad to see everyone go.
Yeah.
Carson mentioned it briefly. He says probably the strongest singers, like pound for pound, we've had get this far. Like thinking of singers who have gone this far.
They just get better every year.
I mean, it was just the holleration this season. These people are full throat singers.
Yes, they are.
Flat-footed, full throat singers.
Yeah.
And I'm saying we saw people leave early.
Yeah.
They were holler. They came to holler this season. And still are. And that's what we're going to get tomorrow.
Yep.
I mean, next week.
Next week.
Tomorrow, next week.
Yes.
So, any final thoughts for you, Steph?
No, not for here. I'll save some thoughts for the Patreons.
All right, Stephanie. So tell everybody what they need to hear.
All right. So don't forget to follow and subscribe to the Pitchy Podcast on your favorite podcast platform so you can be the first to know when we drop a new episode. Check us out on YouTube. Search for The Pitchy Podcast and hit that subscribe button to know when we drop a new video. Also, make sure you follow us on Instagram and TikTok at The Pitchy Podcast for new episode alerts, episode clips, and so much more. And don't forget that we are on Patreon. So much bonus content within the main episode. We do first reactions after each episode, and we will continue to have content for our Patreons even between the breaks of the seasons of NBC's The Voice. So please join us. You can find information on the Patreon highlight on our IG page. You can find information on the Linktree link in our IG bio, and you can also always find information in the show notes below.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week, y'all, for the finale.
Finale. How did we get here?
I don't know.
That's crazy.
Because it's Christmas time.
It sure is. They got an NBC got to start running their Christmas special. So they like, we got to wrap this up real quick, y'all. All right. Bye-bye.